There's no doubt what Glowstick Entertainment have achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state-of-the-art, creepy designs. There are some certain design choices that were made for these characters that we can't fully comprehend. We were hoping you could shed some light on those.
They can talk, they can hit high notes, they can even make children scream and cry for their lives. They can even serve slaughtering dinners right at your fingertips. They can even kill you, dismantle you, and serve you as the next pizza for upcoming party without anyone realizing.
With all due respect, those weren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Wins.
What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome back to Smack Explains, another episode of Dark Deception. Now today, we're going back on our portal/level reveal series, just like last time, because this time, we are going to tackle second level of Chapter 4, most specifically, Joy Gang, formerly known as Joy mascots from Dark Deception Chapter 4. We're going to take a look at their leaked portal, also talk about all possible locations and so much more. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. We've talked about this before. There are 10 portals in Beers' ballroom. All of them are comprised into 5 chapters. Currently, we know 9 out of 10 portals, but there's still one left that is completely surprised from any of us. But let's take a look at Joy Gang portal and see what we actually got. Let's split this into 2 halves. One, where we'll see the first side of the portal, and secondly, we'll see the other side, the main side of the portal that's really giving the creeps here. If you're one of the early people to play Chapter 3, upon finishing the chapter, you would get a glitch where you can see all 9 portals being open. And surprisingly, Beers is also missing, which was really disturbing on their own. Upon entering the future portals, there's not much in there for us to work with, specifically Joy Gang portal. As you can see the inside of this portal, there's not much to do here apart from this broken mountain that usually happens after you beat that specific level. And since it's like that for every other portal as well, it's safe to say that after beating mannequins in Chapter 5, Beers will go missing. I wonder how. And this surprise 10th portal will reveal someone completely new or someone very familiar. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Shout out to DK as always, channel link will be in description. Upon hacking this area, or should I say the other side of this area, something very strange appears. As soon as you enter the other side, you see these floating rocks, which is fairly creepy, but that's not all. You can see on both left and right walls, there are some sort of blocks that could possibly contain giant lasers attached to the walls. Just to point out, at first I thought these are the safes, and in my mind literally went to Joy of Creation, most specifically the office. I mean, it makes sense, it does look like something Nixon would make. But anyways, this indicates that this level will have something, okay, let me rephrase myself, a lot to do with lasers. Now, why lasers, you might ask? Well, buckle up, because we're going for a ride. This level is called Joy Gang, a children-themed title for a creepy level that contains literal animatronics, deadly animatronics that are comprised of 2 forms in it of itself, the joyful one and the deadly one. That deadly one contains lasers in their eyes, red light beam that could get triggered once they find out that you're in here with them. But that's not all. From game files, we can also hear Beers' dialogues. I did not find them, shout out to Angelo, but in one of the upcoming lines from Beers, she literally and bodily mentions,
Malik thinks he's being clever. Now he's got a camera watching the entrance to keep you from getting past. Does he think I'm not capable of making you invisible whenever I want? Or shrinking you to the size of a cockroach? Or turning you into a cockroach if I so desire?
turning into a cockroach? Wow. Like putting lasers wasn't enough. Jeez, Beers. At this point, I feel like you're the real villain here. Beers versus Doug, Chapter 5 confirmed. Jokes aside, this gives us a lot in terms of what to expect in this upcoming level. Malik put the cameras as well as lasers to keep us out. He fears us at this point. We made it thus far. All those challenges, even Malik himself admitted that we're giving him tough time. So of course he's gonna change his game plan to keep us out and keep us from interfering into things we honestly have no idea about. But that was portal and entrance. What about the location itself? This one was really hard for me to make out because I really had to dive deep into every possible location. I mean every possible location. In order to understand where this level could be happening, we need to learn the previous levels and their locations as well. Chapter 1 was Monkey's business in hotel. That's a really odd pair for these two, but okay, I'll take it. Chapter 2 saw Agatha in school. Makes sense. And Gold Watchers in mansion. Again, odd pairing, but for the context, I'll take it. Then comes Chapter 3, where we saw Duckies in sewers. Again, creepily, it makes sense. Duckies and sewers. And then clowns in parks and all of that good stuff that we had in Chapter 3, Level 2. So there's a consistent theme here, apart from Monkey, that each level's monsters represents the location that is comprised of both the fear of our protagonists as well as nightmarish representation of past history, mashing that up with monsters' execution of that level. Agatha representing school, school representing Doug's daughter past life. There's a consistent theme here. So what about Joy Joy Gang? Now, since these are animatronics, and actually horrific animatronics, and keeping in mind the teaser for Chapter 4, which shows children with balloons and party themes, turns horrifying, and for those children, it makes sense for this level to be in a giant restaurant, most specifically a children-based restaurant. I guess you know where this one is going. That is right, we are talking about pizzerias, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, haven't said that one in a while. Now I get it. Pizzeria seems like way too small for a level with such giant caliber, but when I was making this video's bullet points, it doesn't mainly have to be in main pizzeria. Let me explain. I'm gonna take an example of Five Nights at Freddy's. Most specifically, I'm gonna tackle two games, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 and Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 saw a birthday party going wrong, but it set up a theme for how Pizzeria or Fazbear Pizzeria was doing things in there. Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, on the other hand, cemented the legacy of abandoned locations coming to life. That is exactly what I'm trying to say here. Pizzerias are huge. Just take a tour of any nearest Chuck E. Cheese branch. Actually, don't. I went in there. Just no. It's a no from me. But they are gigantic, with very tight corners, to eating areas, to stages, to playing areas, to arcade rooms. We're talking a lot of places and a lot of rooms. But even then, that's not enough for this level. Hence, the underground area comes into play. Underground area is where animatronics or their spare parts, just like Five Nights at Freddy's 4, would be kept in the morning until they're then being rented or being used in the main franchise at night. It is very disturbing that even brunch in our town, they don't open until evening and they go till late night. I can't believe how parents would even let their kids go into those things and near those freaking gigantic I honestly can't comprehend this anymore. That way you can have Zone 1 in main pizzeria with all possible locations and rooms, and then Zone 2, which is more dark, then you can have abandoned pizzeria underground locations where there are abandoned animatronics, unfinished spare parts, odor of dead kids, third-class pizzas. Yeah. Nothing's worse than third-class pizzas, ladies and gentlemen. Which brings us to our third point, which is possible enemies. So far, there are 3 animatronics, main animatronics: Lucky the Rabbit, Hangry the Pig, no one likes him, and my favorite, Penny the Chicken, the most underrated character of all time. Here I come! Okay, yeah, I'll never get it right. One day, my friend, one day. But just like I mentioned in my last video, there will be more enemies. Enemies other than these 3 animatronics. Enemies such as dead children, abandoned animatronics, their spare parts, moving and stunning and coming to life on their own, while you're running from 3 perfectly scary animatronics gunning to kill you. Is that enough nightmare fuel for you today? I guess not, because the real question is, how are they gonna kill you anyway? What are the attacks and encounters? Well, good question. Let's try to answer that. Now at this point, if you don't know the last power, I might as well give you away anyway. From game files, we found out that the last power is called Vanish, and it has this icon that shows an eye for all-seeing Illuminati, and then a cancel mark on it to represent that that eye, the all-seeing Illuminati, cannot see no more. And that is exactly what we're going to get in this level. We played Pierce's line early of Malak has put a camera. That represents this power of hiding from everyone and surpassing enhancing the cameras. But even then, what about lasers? Well, that's because the power works in a way that it makes you completely vanish and invisible from everything, and that includes lasers triggers too, which also includes other triggers from other levels as well. I'm talking traps, and those traps which requires triggers in the first place. I am betting you that the recover time for vanish is gonna be way longer than Primal Fear, so long that it's barely gonna be used. I hope not. The whole concept sounds fire and epic. Please, Glowstick Entertainment, please wins. You know what we want. Give us what we want. Which leads us to the attacks. Of course, it's not just animatronics chasing you to kill you, but also Malak, keeping an eye on you through cameras. So cameras will definitely gonna have something to do with lasers within that level. So watch out. When you step on something you don't want to get triggered, you might make Malak or someone else angry, curious, or suspicious. I wonder if there are traps that can literally kill you instantly. Not like the ones in the mansion, but like the traps that can come out of nowhere. I mean it. Which leads us to the final point of the video, and that is the boss battle. Who's gonna be the boss battle? Well, upon thinking it over and over again, imagine this: a giant animatronic with other animatronics running towards you. But unlike other enemies, this boss has giant lasers that goes in different patterns, and it throws voltage current towards you as well. If anyone's played Ra's al Ghul from Batman Arkham City, please Google it up. Please watch that boss battle or play that, please. Then you know exactly what I'm trying to say here. This is the only level which I'm genuinely excited for the boss battle, because the possibilities for it, when you think about them, are just very exciting and interesting. Rather than from, let's say, nurses of Trigger Teddy, Mama Bear, it does feel like a giant animatronic. Half of it looks like abandoned, spare parts attached to it. A lot of animatronics stuffed into that giant animatronic, and then every once in a while those spare parts would come out of alive. He throws at you those spare parts, and he throws those animatronics towards you, and then you have to avoid those animatronics while you try to find a way to escape those current voltage, those lasers, and kill that giant animatronic. That's the boss of this entire level. What's going to be the conclusion of this epic animatronic level? Well, we'll find out very soon in Chapter 4 Level 2 of Dark Deception. With that, it'll bring us to the end of this video. This has to be one of my favorite videos I've done in a while, so without wasting any more time, share your thoughts in the comments as to what do you think of all the endless possibilities comes Chapter 4 Joy Joy Gang. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit that like button and share it with your friends on Discord, Twitter, and Instagram, and smash that subscribe button, become an official member of SmackNPie. Help me get to 20,000 subscribers. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SmackNPie. I'm Smack, and until next time, take care and peace.